What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Bitcoin still grinding sideways, and we're actually technically at the same price from almost 3 months ago. 3 months ago exactly, we broke into this 95k region, and we're still at 95k. So a little bit of chop, a little bit of consolidation, very similar to what we saw at this part of the year in March. Sideways grind, but we won't be grinding for this long. That's just normally what happens in the crypto cycles. You get one sideways grind and then a move up and then a bit of a chop and consolidation. So we are expecting for Bitcoin in the crypto market to have a push to the upside, but we do need to get above some key levels first, of course. But we have been in this super chop over here, an even tighter range for the past almost, what is that? Just over 2 weeks now, and it is starting to confuse a lot of the players, of course. But we are stuck with a 50-day EMA. We're still holding this area up here. The RSI is flat whilst price is coming down. We'll have a look at it on the 4-hour time frame. So this is a bit of a divergence as well. So you can see a little push to the upside. Of course, most of the market participants are positioned short. So we could see a bit of a short squeeze, of course. I'm still long in Bitcoin from 94,700 over here. Obviously, we came down past that yesterday, but yeah, still long. I still think it's a good opportunity. It stops below here or just below that 90k region and onwards and upwards. So we have been grinding down sideways. It looks like we are starting to, the bears are exhausted. We can't really push price down further than this. Even with all the FUD yesterday, the FUD with FTX Repayments and Solana. We'll have a look at Solana later, obviously getting smashed. I'm still in this long, of course, just opened it yesterday. But Bitcoin, it is grinding sideways. And if the bears are exhausted and this price point is held up, as you can see, every time price comes in, we get a nice move out. The latest we should be waiting for a breakout is, towards the end of the month. So, worst case scenario, another 10 days in this range, end of this week and next week, of course. Otherwise, if we do see a push up and break through this, that is going to be as soon as we break this declining resistance, that is going to be our go signal, of course. But yeah, we'd love to see price above the 50% level of the bigger range, and that's coming just below 100k at 99,600. So those are the key levels. Still been sitting on my hands, haven't risked too much in the current sessions, of course. Been stopped out of a few trades, leverage trades, and of course that happens. And the exact same thing happened, guys. The exact same thing happened over here. I remember trading, my account was just break even, getting stopped out, taking a few good ones. And then when this happened, we made a lot of money. So it's going to happen again. It's most likely to happen again. What's going to invalidate that, of course, is if Bitcoin breaks below this 90k region. I think we can come lower, but for now it's still long and strong, guys. Long and strong. I think sentiment is awful at the moment, and what's interesting is that the sentiment is worse than this, yet price is higher. So that's a bit of a divergence as well. We're gonna have a look at Sonic, and Sonic is looking good, guys. Sonic Phantom is looking good, but this is the breakout region, guys. This is the breakout region. I'm still waiting for this. This will be the absolute confirmation for me. Ethereum holding up well, still in my long from about 2,670 odd. And yeah, guys, my target for that is 3,100. This should be tested. It makes the most sense that this does get tested. And it should come into this fair value gap over here, this massive candle down, of course. And we're probably going to test the 200-day EMA death cross region over here. And that's coming in at 3,100. So this is the target. This is the target for Ethereum, of course, and it's looking like another little deviation. Worst case scenario, we're going to chop, but if you zoom out, it is looking good. We are, making higher lows, so we are expecting a breakout towards the end of this year. Of course, massive volume coming in over there. This was the capitulation low, stopping out all these players over here. Looks very similar to Solana. So we are seeing, or I am at least expecting a push up. We'd like to see a breakout of this declining resistance as well. And that's also coming out towards the end of Feb. So I think there's another 10 days of opportunity until we are fully long, fully entered in the markets, all in and making gains to the upside. The reason I'm so confident at the moment, obviously Solana Dutch into that now, The reason I'm so confident and bullish, guys, is because we do have the DXY breakdown. We have accepted back into the range. And what happens now is this is a deviation. And what you do is you come down to the bottom of the range. And you can look back. This was a bullish period for the stock market, of course. So we would expect this to happen again. These are all bullish periods for the stock market. Everything priced against the dollar would be doing well. And the DXY has deviated back into the range. So we are looking for this to play to the bottom of the range. Bullish for assets, guys. This is bullish for assets. And another reason I'm still bullish on the crypto market right now is because traditional markets, guys, all-time highs. All-time highs for the S&P 500, all-time highs for the NASDAQ. And I've said this many times, guys, there's nothing bearish about all-time highs. All-time highs is bullish. Of course, it's bullish. And all the players that short all-time highs get rinsed. Okay, here, all-time highs, if you shorted, you got wrecked. If you shorted this, you got wrecked. If you shorted this, you got wrecked. So on and so forth. Anyone who built shorts, the DeepSeek FUD, all of this, that's all been shaken off. And the bull market continues, guys. That is why I am bullish on assets and I'm bullish on crypto. Crypto is in the discount zone at the moment, and it's all making sense. It's all lining up. VIX as well coming back into our range. If we start to range in this yellow box over here, it is looking bullish. This is where the S&P 500 and NASDAQ make those big moves when we are in this grinding period for the VIX. And with S&P 500 and NASDAQ at all-time high levels, you do expect crypto to follow suit. And it's most likely being suppressed. And we are likely to see a big push to the upside. Of course, the CNN Fear and Greed Index still at neutral at 49. We haven't seen greed in a while, guys. Last month, last week, so what? So forth. Over here, if we look at the timeline, we haven't seen greed since October last year. And that was like very little greed. So this is a divergence as well, all-time highs, whilst the S&P 500 is below 50. This means that we're most likely going to see a big push for the S&P 500, and this is most likely going to go into the crypto market and spill into the crypto market. That is why I remain long. Obviously, we got stopped out of a few trades. We've taken some hits, but that's what happens, guys. That's what happens in the sideways grind. The sideways grind markets, if we just look at Bitcoin again, this is for scalp trading, guys. This is for scalp trading. This market, this condition over here, the past 3 months, or since the past 2 months, let's call it 2 months, this has been for scalp trading, guys. The same here. This is for scalp trading. I'm a swing trader. So we do look for opportunities in this period, as we did for a few months before we get that push up. So right now, again, is that period before we get that push up. The confirmation is going to be the break of this declining trend line, get above the 50-day EMA, get above the 99,600 region. And this is the region where we should be going all in, guys. Absolutely all in. You guys know I'm long on Bitcoin. I'm long on Bitcoin from 94.7 over here, this region over here. Long ETH, long from 2,600 odd. Solana just entered this long now. This long, you're not too late on this long, guys. This should not be broken. If this gets broken, then we are coming down to the bottom, and it's going to be looking scary for Solana. So this is definitely worth the trade, guys. Our previous long on Solana was this one over here. We longed the breakout, of course, and we got stopped out. And this is a perfect trade, guys. We stopped out. We lost 1% of our trading portfolio, but it doesn't matter because this was a very key invalidation point. As you can see, we got stopped out and price just nuked and followed down there. And what that means is we get to enter this trade more than 10% below where we got stopped out. Guys, that is a huge win. That is a huge win. If you 10x leverage this and it goes back up to this price, you have actually made your trade back. And this is looking like a deviation on the higher term timeframes. Obviously, everyone who got long on Solana in this period, they've all been stopped out. So whoever has long Solana in the past 2 months, stopped out, wiped off the table. And it looks very similar, guys. It looks very similar to what happened over here. Obviously, this also went on for a while. Everyone who got long here had their stops below this price over here. That was for like 5 months. But look at that wick come down, stop everyone out, grind sideways for a bit, and then you make your move. So I'm looking for something similar to happen on Solana. If you look at Ethereum as well, very similar, guys. Massive grind sideways. This is obviously years of people getting stopped out, over a year of people getting stopped out. price comes down, everyone gets stopped out, and then off you go. So I think Ethereum could come down. The most it's going to come down, in my opinion, is 2,480. And I love how Ethereum hasn't tested the 50% of that wick yet, meaning that bulls are stepping in, and bulls are not allowing price to come this low at all. So you can see Solana obviously came lower. Bitcoin's retested 50% of the wick. XRP hasn't tested 50% of the wick, so XRP is looking good. I'm also long on XRP. This is the trade. We're currently at break even. And the reason I'm long on this is, we're retesting the 50% as support, as well as the 50-day EMA. So this is a likely trade, obviously. Stops below this price action here, because if we do lose that level, we're probably going to come down to the 50% of the wick, and then we are just going to open another long over here. That's how it's going to work, guys. That's how it's going to work. So I'm long here. And my target is this $3.57. I think we could come down and come up and test that level over there. This is also a likely target over here. But if you look at this inclining support, I think we could easily come get a test of this over here from the underside, and we'll see if that's resistance and we do chop to the side, or if we do break out. But this gives us a 3-to-1 risk reward, and that is the trade on XRP. But guys, market's looking good in my opinion. And Bitcoin dominance filled some of the fair value gap before getting a nice push up yesterday. Obviously, a lot of people selling altcoins. We're gonna have a look at the altcoin sector now. But this is now above, or chopping around here. We would want to see this act as resistance. We form a lower high again, then we come down and form a lower low, take it out, chop around here for a bit, and then this is going to be our breakout region. So not too much longer left, I think, guys. Another 10 days left of potential chop, potential move to the downside. So get long, or fear of missing out, of course, guys. So the reason why we are getting very long here is because we are extremely close to our point of invalidation. Okay, this is when it's best to take the most risk. Of course, our point of invalidation is if we close a daily candle on the USDT dominance above 4.68%, above the 50% level, above the 200-day EMA, which has been holding up as massive resistance here, guys. Huge resistance over here. You can see if we close a daily candle above 4.68%, it's invalidated, guys. It's invalidated. It's looking scary. Then you can say that USDT dominance is very likely to push on and take out this full wick over here, which is going to be very scary for the altcoin sector, of course. But let me pull it over there, 4.66% to be accurate. But if we close a daily candle above here, then we are likely to float up to the top here, another 6% down, which will be catastrophic for the market. But this is looking like another deviation, guys. We are in resistance over here, of course. Massive resistance. The amount of resistance here is huge. It's absolutely massive. And this is looking like, hopefully for the bulls, of course, we remain mostly unbiased. But when we are in a bull market, we have to be bullish. This is going to look like another deviation, okay? Another deviation, double top forming over here. We get below here, and then massive move for crypto. And this is all lining up, guys, because, again, the stock markets, NASDAQ, S&P 500, the European markets, the Australian markets, all global markets are at all-time highs, which is not bearish, guys. It's not bearish. And it normally does follow into the crypto market. I haven't sold anything. I haven't panic sold everything. I've been all in on crypto for over a year now, and I remain to hold, guys. The cycle is not over. There are no obvious signs that the cycle is over, guys. Let's go into total crypto market, because this is also getting very close to our point of validation. We were looking for price to obviously this wick over here, capitulation wick. We were looking for a chop in this area, which has played out perfectly. That's why we haven't gone all in yet, because we knew it was going to chop around and give us opportunities. Another test of that 3 trillion region over here yesterday, of course, with the FTX FUD, then the repayments. But this is looking like a double bottom, of course. And you can see RSI over here. Let's have a look at the RSI, because the RSI is creeping up over here. You can see RSI creeping up, price coming down. And if you put on the line chart, looks like we have almost like a lower low. So we could get another sweep over here, come and test the $3 trillion region again, create a higher high on the RSI, and then off we go, guys. So it is looking good. And the level to get above is this 3.27 trillion region over here. Get above the 50-day EMA and the 50% level, then it is A for away. So we want to flip this into support. So basically, we want to see a push up this week or next week, push up here, test this as support, these old highs becoming new lows as support, and then onwards and upwards. And we will be seeing altcoins pushing up, and only the strong ones will survive, guys. Your SUIs. We can go into the strong altcoins now. I do have a list of those. Your SUIs, your Ondos, your Mantras, your all of that. Okay, so total 3, creating a little higher low over here. So we want to see this hold, this level hold. Worst case scenario, we come down to 812 billion. And that is worst case scenario. We are expecting a push up here, and we want to see price get above here. As soon as we see price get above here and flip, then we're going to be adding to our positions and basically going max all in, because we are likely to see a push to the upside just because everything is at all-time highs. So you do expect crypto to follow suit. But that is the line in the sand, 950 billion. That is where we want to get above as soon as possible. Okay, let's go into some of the stronger coins. Obviously, this has been one of my biggest gainers. I did sell the majority of my because my other positions were bleeding, so I had to take some profits somewhere. Of course, and this one was well up. So I sold most of my at this $6 region. We are up a little bit, but it was definitely worth the trade. Mega trade. This has been my best spot trade. I sold a little bit here as well. So to say, an average sell, 600% move on spot. Brilliant trade on Mantra. Ondo's coming into the buy zone, fast approaching the buy zone. I did outline this buy zone on, I think, Monday, and it was the 200-day EMA looking for a bounce off here. But we are expecting a sideways grind and for this to hold. And the big breakout of this becomes when we do break this declining resistance. And, if price had to grind sideways for now, we could be waiting for mid-March for a push up over here. But definitely worth accumulating. BlackRock, the big players are accumulating this, tokenization of real-world assets. Bullish, guys, bullish, fundamentally bullish. Of course, we're not going to go into the meme coins, but I mean, yeah, not looking great. But we are getting, some kind of tick up on the RSI, so we could see a little relief rally, because I think a lot of people are short meme coins at the wrong time. So we could see a push up into these key levels over here, up into the EMAs, and we'll be most likely rotating out or just holding, guys. If you are so down, you may as well just hold it. You never know where it's going to go. Okay, let's go into the good stuff. SUI looking good, holding up on the 200-day EMA. Great place to be buying SUI, in my opinion. Could we come lower? Yes, we could come sweep all the liquidity, tag the 50% level. But look how this hasn't touched the 50% level, showing that it is strong. So 2.85, that is probably your best friend for SUI. Sweep all the liquidity, guys. Take all this liquidity, push to the upside. And the real breakout for SUI hasn't happened yet. I think once we get above that $3.88, it's going to be moving pretty fast. But this is a key level for SUI to get above. But great buying opportunity will be this level over here. Take all this liquidity, tag the 50%. So mark off that $2.80, marked it off on your chart for SUI. I think you could get it. This is the bargain zone, guys. Bargain zone. And if we do get a long over there, obviously stops below this wick. We don't want that to be taken out. And then we are targeting all-time highs, giving us a risk reward of 6.68 to 1. And if you take the trade now, it is a 3 to 1, which isn't bad, but we could scale into this. And I do prefer, those 5 to 1 risk reward plays, of course. ENS holding up relatively well. I do want to see us trading in this yellow box region over here, but anything underneath the 200-day EMA, whilst the 50-day EMA is above the 200, is a good place to be getting in. Chainlink also holding up relatively well, looking for a low to form in this region over here. I've been looking for this for a while now. Aave looking good, still in my Aave long. Stops obviously below this EMA at 225, and looking for all-time high prices or cycle high prices at that $400 region for Aave. ENA really struggling to get a liquidity sweep, but not too sure why this is struggling so much. But we do have that fair value gap, which is the ultimate target. If you are spot ENA, this is your place where you would want to be selling some of your ENA, of course. But this is a decent risk to reward. it's unlikely that this $20 region gets met. Fair value gap is over there, and that is a 3-to-1 risk reward, right? Off these lows, you can stop at the lows here and target the fair value gap. This is pretty likely to happen, in my opinion. We are starting to get the RSI. Bears are running out of momentum here. So we are getting bullish divergence. Obviously, RSI ticking up, price coming down, fair value gap. So this is another 3-to-1 risk reward. Very decent trade, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm still in this trade, and I think I almost got stopped out yesterday, but still in this, guys. I think my stop is like over there or something. But yeah, still in this trade, but decent risk to reward, even on spot, guys. Uniswap holding up really well as well. Obviously making higher highs in the shorter term time frame. And it looks like we are actually breaking out here. So I might take a trade here on Uniswap just because we are breaking this declining resistance over here. Boom. Stops go below this low over here because we are forming some kind of bullish market structure. We are above this trend line as well. And then we are targeting at least the $12 and then this region over here. This looks like a massive region, a lot of liquidity sitting over here. And people who did short would have their stop loss over there. So this is another good trade. I think I'm going to take this trade right now. I'm going to take this trade right now after the show. Bang, $12, TP1, TP2, $15, risk reward of 5.7 to 1 after our full TP. Stop loss, let's just go with this $8.46 over there. And yeah, we can scale into this, of course. There is this upsloping support, which is holding as well. So if you want to be very conservative, you could be targeting this whole region over here, this yellow box. So you could be getting in this from 9.68 all the way down to 9.15. This is your buy zone. Stop below that $8.45, and that gives us a risk reward of, if we get in a little bit later, even 8 to 1. And if we just fully TP over here, that's a 3.5 to 1, and very likely to happen, in my opinion. I think we could get saved here. Avoid the death cross. This might be some resistance as well, this $11 region. So this is a decent trade idea, of course. Don't risk more than 1%. You guys know how it goes, but this is looking like a decent trade, guys. It's looking like a decent trade. Hype also holding up well, just grinding over here. You can see we are creating higher lows, of course. Radium struggling a bit, but we are in the buy zone over here. Massive support for Radium over here, and obviously with all the Sol FUD and people selling Solana, and the meme coins not getting much activity, we do expect this to of course come to the downside. But the rest of the tokens, in my opinion, aren't looking as strong. These are my main dogs over here: Sui, ENS, Link, Aave. These are the good ones over here. Tau also holding up. I am in a spot Tau trade as well. And I think I might take a long because we are starting to look like we're breaking out here. We obviously faked out a few times. So I think I'm going to wait for today's close. Once we get above $460, this thing is going to pump. So definitely good for spot, in my opinion. RSI is looking good. The daily RSI is above 50. That's where we like to see it. And, price is quite suppressed. So this is looking like a good trade. And we'd want to see this get broken because then we are in bullish market structure. We have created a higher low as well. And then you could easily just put your stop loss over here. We could take the breakout trade stops over there. And then we can target TP1 and TP2 over there. Long-term trades, guys. Of course, long-term trades. But this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to add this to my, good token list. Going to pull this in here. The rest has been struggling a bit. Okay, we're going to go to some altcoin requests. So definitely target those altcoins that you guys want to have a look at. Of course, let's have a look at that. But this is another trade idea, guys. So I've actually given a few trade ideas. It's been ENA. It's looking pretty good. Tile's looking good. Uniswap's looking good. Radium's looking good. Sui's looking good. And there was one that I was looking at earlier, but I can't quite remember what it was. We'll have to have a look at it later. Oh, Sonic, guys, Sonic. Yeah, this guy's always on it, man. Sonic, Phantom looking really good. We're going to go into Phantom just because there's a little bit more price structure, of course. And then we are going to move on to the rest of the altcoin requests. Guys, 10% today. Breakout. Bang. Look at this. Look at this. Looking good. The target is $89 to $90. Guys, massive trade on your hands here. This is a really good trade in my opinion, and we are above the 50-day EMA, which is bullish. Stop loss obviously above this level over here, key level to hold, and TP1 coming in at that 90 cents region over there. Yeah, this is looking like a decent trade. Could we come lower? We could. So maybe don't go all in now because we are up 10% on the day already. And then, of course, guys, the main target is the fair value gap. And you can go onto lots of your charts and have a look at that fair value gap, and that is your target. The fair value gap, very likely to get filled. This gives us a risk reward of 3.6 to 1. And if we come down and grab this liquidity from today, which is looking, this could happen easily, that gives us a very nice risk reward of there. And then if you are very conservative, then you would want to be getting in over here. If we come take the liquidity today, if you are very conservative, and we target the fair value gap, and that gives us a risk reward of that 3.6 to 1. And that's looking good, guys. So Sonic, gonna actually bring this into my green list because this is starting to perform well. And I think big players have been suppressing this and making people panic sell. And I do think the tokenomics and fundamentals are quite strong of a recent data release. So I've got way too many coins, guys. There we go. I'm gonna make this one green, and we'll keep an eye on it, guys. We'll keep an eye on it. So look at Lido quickly, because Lido's holding up really well. Lido's holding up really well. I think big players know that ETH is on it at the moment, and a minimum target of $2.50 over there for Lido. Let's get rid of that, clean it up a bit. And yeah, we are starting to reclaim the important EMAs. So good trade for Lido. I think spot is still good, and I remember getting in here with you guys, so we are on it over there. Okay, so look at some quick altcoin requests. Someone says Aptos is pumping. Aptos. Okay, so look at KuCoin. Let's bring it up. 10% as well. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So Aptos, we'd like to see a break above this. If we can close today above this, it is looking good for a nice push up into this zone over here. But also, quite hard to get in now, because if you get in now, you're gonna have to wait. It's very tight to your point of invalidation. If you go long here, where like your stop loss is over there, massive pump today. But let's keep an eye on this, because we could rather build this into a bigger swing trade, because this would be your take profit zone, the zone over here even. But it's been very aggressive sell-off, a very aggressive sell-off. So I'm not drawing here. So we'd want to see a break of this. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for higher levels for Aptos. Will I short Aptos? No, guys. I'm not into shorting, not interested in shorting, guys. But there's an argument for a long trade here. RSI pushing up. I wouldn't short this, guys. If you're brave, you can short. I don't like shorting a bull market. Of course, this has come down quite a lot. This would have been a good short. But yeah, I wouldn't be looking for shorts at the moment, guys. Okay, let's have a look at some scalp shorts. Okay, we can have a look at the tighter time frames later. There could be a scalp. Is Brett a good buy now? Probably. There's a lot of FUD about the meme coins, a lot of FUD. I do have a spot bag, which was once pretty decently sized. It's looking ugly though, guys, but there is a case of bullish divergence over here, obviously creating lower lows of the price, higher lows of the RSI, but there's no confirmed breakout, guys. No confirmed breakouts. Your confirmed breakout would be, once we break this down, sloping resistance, we could get a little relief rally. But I think, the sentiment's dead. I think people are burnt. I don't think people will want to get involved with meme coins just because they've got so burnt. So probably wouldn't buy. The question is, if you buy now, who you're gonna sell it to later? Okay, so look at Toncoin. This thing's getting beaten. Look at that, guys. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, but definitely looking for a move into this zone over here. Inefficiency candle just slicing straight through. I think, the next retest of this, there is an argument for a potential, sell your spot bag. And we'll see how it reacts into the zone. There's obviously this declining resistance over here, and we'll see how price reacts when it comes into here. But, you can expect price to come into here. But your point of invalidation, there is no real point of invalidation. It could be below here, but it's very likely to get stopped out. So if you are in spots, you could wait for your, $5 region to get tagged. Yeah, that's for Toncoin. Sitting on my hands for that. XRP we have covered. Have a look at XLM. Yeah, not looking too bad. It hasn't come into our buy zone yet. We were looking for this zone to get tagged 50% of the wick. This is holding up well though, guys. I would like to see this $36 get reclaimed, something like that. You could be getting long and anticipating a breakout over there. It's really looking like a good trade. So you'd wait for a breakout of this. You'd be buying here with like a small or a half position, and then we can buy that again. Then you'll have a nice average entry of in the middle there, stops below these lower lows, and we are targeting all-time highs. So now's the time to be building, guys. Now's the time to be building those long positions, and we are looking like we could get a breakout over here as well. So let's wait and see, guys. I'd wait for a reclaim of 36 cents. 36 cents. Okay, what's happening with Bitcoin? Let's go have a look there. So just to recap, guys, we are looking for breakouts in the next few weeks. Obviously, a lot in the crypto space, stock markets, all-time highs. Crypto normally follows, so don't be surprised, guys. We are in this Solana long. We are in a XRP long as well. It's at a key zone, reclaim of the 50% level and 50-day EMA. We are obviously long on ETH from this level over here. And we are in a few longs, guys. We are in a few longs, long and strong. We are starting to build those positions. I do see a big push to the upside sooner than later. But guys, thanks so much for joining the show, and we will see you guys later this week. Cheers for now. Happy trading.